Hello and welcome to episode 14 of the Drunken Arcanauts Golarion campaign. I'm Clancy and I'll be your DM today. This is a Pathfinder 2nd edition campaign based on the Fall of Plaguestone module. We go through a fair amount of custom made up nonsense, so it doesn't match the module perfectly, and we are getting to the end of it and probably going to start seeing hints of future modules and stories from this point forward. Before I get too far, if everyone wants to introduce themselves and their character and how they're not also the DM, that'd be great. Then I'll go through the recap and we can get back into it.
Hi, I'm Risky. I'm playing Gene Remington, and I'm not the DM today. Um, yep, I'm a cool ranger guy who finally is gonna actually start shooting stuff instead of punching stuff.
Oh yeah. My name is Mark. I'm also currently not the DM. I play everyone's favorite goblin alchemist, Dr. Gish, and someday we'll be reunited with Kevin, but he had to be left outside because Mornar kept trying to put him in harm's way.
Jay. I play Mornar. I was not trying to put any dogs in harm's way, but whatever. Play a half-elf swashbuckler, and I am not the DM.
And I'm Claire, not the DM currently. I'm really more of an NPC who's been given sentience. And I play Guy Bengaltier, the automaton bard. And I'm just full of surprises, y'all. Like I got so many different little zaps and zips that shoot out my body. It's fun stuff.
Yeah, so last time the party spent the session looting the room. They climbed up where they found the chests with Guy's. Oh, well, they found Guy's backpack, a bunch of Guy's money. That wasn't Guy's money. A bunch of alchemy notes, a map that leads them to Vilry's lair, as well as a number of runes, which had been activated in the explosions earlier in the fight. And we're going set to just adhere to the table. If the party hadn't grabbed it, you'd have a table with some real bizarre properties that I was going to have to try and deal with if you guys hadn't picked them up. Thank God you did, so I don't have to worry about that. That all said, everybody has gotten a chance to rest. The party is now level 6. You are fully healed, although there was one encounter while you were resting, and I'm assuming you slept for a while, because we're talking this is like a full 16 hours of rest in order to get healed back up.
I am a robot.
And I'm an elf, so I meditated.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be sleeping. It's just you guys are recuperating.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, we've been going full bore for quite a while.
Yeah, no shit.
I just have to enter standby mode for 2 hours. Beep poop.
Because the two of you are the ones who most likely would be up, I need each of you to roll me perception.
Yay.
Oh, that's not that bad. I thought that was a 6. It's a 9. So 21.
Okay.
31.
21 and 31. Okay. The two of you are up, and we'll say there's some meat cooking in the fire. And you're just sort of sitting there, just relaxing, maybe stretching, maybe reading, who knows. But you sort of look around the room at one point because you hear Gene rustling or something. And when you look back, the meat's gone.
Did you see that?
I mean,
Weren't we cooking?
Yeah, I think I didn't see it.
I don't think that you would eat it, right? Because you probably don't eat.
Oh yeah, no, I just do this for the fun of it.
Yeah.
And that's not me being sarcastic this time.
Do you drink oil? Sorry, that's not important. What just happened?
I don't know. Let's take a quick look around and stuff. What, we take a look around?
You don't see anything in the cave. The cave seems totally empty. And you only glanced away for maybe half a second. And the meat went from cooking right over the fire, right there in the hearth, to gone.
I'm gonna pull out my rapier and ask my ghost sword, "Are there any ghosts around?" And I'm gonna try to listen to see if the sword talks back to me.
Roll me a D100.
Oh God, I was just being a dick. I was trying. Oh shit, 47.
No, the sword does not talk back to you.
Probably won't be the last time I try.
Fun. Okay, so we got to get more meat on there for the meat to cook, and then also let's try to keep an eye on the meat this time, maybe.
Okay, I'm gonna look down at my sword and be like, "Fine, pout then," and I'm gonna put it away.
Okay. Do you put more meat on the fire to cook?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna pretend to once it's a little cooked, I'm gonna pretend to look away for a second,
Okay.
but not actually.
What about you, Guy? What are you doing?
I am going to not look away, but because I have like the helmet thingy over my eyes, you can't really tell.
You notice that the fire is burning really, really brightly.
Mm-hmm.
It's going from like a normal red-orange to almost a yellow-orange to then almost a white-yellow. And one of the sticks on the side there looks like it's about to crumble, and the meat tumbles back into the fire.
I'm gonna get a little close, just a little closer, and look at that fire.
As you look closely at the fire, you see where the meat should have rolled to. It's not there. It's gone. The fire itself has gone back to normal again.
You know, I was at this place once, and all the people there worship this weird fucking fire god person. This shit's weird. I don't want to think that that's here too.
Yeah, that's it's definitely some weird fire. Can I try? Would an Arcana or occultism work here to try to figure out what this could be?
You could try.
I'm gonna try occultism because this seems pretty occultic. 14, jeez.
You don't know. Maybe there's some sort of fire spirit. And it's looking for an offering of food or something. Maybe you're not sure.
We gave it an offering then.
I don't like this. I don't like fire things, demons, and
I mean, my experience with fiery things is limited to parrot that I once encountered a long while ago, and then also Craig, which you guys got to meet.
When
sorry.
you say Craig, peeking down from the fireplace, you see the head of a flaming leopard dripping with juice as it has been eating the meat from the fire whenever it gets half a chance. And it just sort of peeks down at you when you say Craig and then scrambles back off.
Like he's gone now, or I look under.
He's
like,
gone now. That's
now?
the end of the encounter.
Oh man,
that was
Craig
scary.
came back.
That was
I mean, of all the fiery things to have be there, Craig's probably one of the good ones.
agreed. I've dealt with way too much fire shit. If you only knew.
I mean, I can imagine. Well, no, I can't.
Let's just say my dad made a lot of enemies with demons.
Gotcha.
That's why if you saw earlier when the room was exploding, I kind of just pushed the fire out of my way. That's how long I've been dealing with fire.
Okay, if I ever have a fire problem, I know who to
Leave
go
me out of it, please.
to. Oh, okay. I know who not to go to, I guess.
I mean, I will help you, but I don't like fire.
It's like that guy that's telling you, like, yeah, I've been dealing with floods my whole life, basement, blah, blah, blah. And you're like, oh, well, next time my basement floods, I know who to help me. And he's like, nah, I fucking hate that shit. I'm never
I don't
doing
want
it
to
again.
deal with that anymore.
Like, then why are you even telling me about this? Is your point that you're not helpful? Oh my god.
Yes,
Anyway,
that is the point.
you guys finish out the rest. There's no more disturbances. The food cooks like normal, and yeah, it's bright and early. You are startled out of your reverie by the incessant sound of tiny paws scratching at the door that you barricaded.
Is that your
Somebody wanna-
Is that a rat?
fire thing?
No.
Cats
Craig
always
could
want.
Craig would
Craig-
have come through the thing.
So cats always want in and out of doors they can't get in and out of. So
I
I could go to the door as a wolf.
That sounds like a decent idea. I will join the wolf going to the door. Regardless of who goes to the door, I'm going to the door.
You open the door.
Yes.
Kevin comes bounding in,
Kevin.
runs all the way up to Gish, sniffing him and all wiggly and happy. He's just been stuck outside. He got sick of waiting and came in.
That's you got a doggy.
Why did you guys keep Kevin out?
I did not know who Kevin was.
I didn't realize everyone hated Kevin. I thought it was just Mornar.
I don't
I
hate
love
Kevin.
Kevin.
Kevin is fine. I just thought we should use his skills.
Mornar has a vendetta against me and Kevin for some reason. He rolled over me and killed me almost.
Didn't kill you, and I gave you CPR.
I
think it was
specifically
me, I
remember being buried in rubble.
Well, you should be faster in the future.
Anyway, this is Kevin. Sometimes I
He
ride
has-
atop him.
He has little boots.
He does. He does have little boots.
Oh my gosh.
He's very happy to be reunited with Gish. He's not barking because he's a good dog, but he's all wiggly and he's happy.
That's good.
I'm going to pull one of my sleeves up, and you guys are gonna notice that like my whole arm is covered in tattoos, kind of like the guy in Full Metal Alchemist. You know, the
Scar.
native Scar. And I'm just gonna kind of look at something, and you see something glow on my arm, and a shield pops up around me, and like I look shocked and amazed, and I'm like, "Fuck yeah!" I was wondering if that would work.
Is that the first time you've
Oh.
done that?
Yeah.
Did you just get arcane tattoos?
My dad tattooed my arm and said they would come in handy one day, and I'm just finally learning how to use them.
Against your
You
will,
could use
or
mine
you-
to cast shield too.
I'm gonna say, Gene, unless you object, that you have the exact same tattoo on your arm.
Yeah.
That would be dope.
He just rolls up his sleeve, and it's both like in some random script that you don't know, but now you're starting to wonder if they just put the same mark on everybody and tell them it's special.
It just says shield in Chinese.
I was this close to taking that feat this level up as well, which would have been just real weird if I'd have been like,
It would
yeah,
have been
me too.
hilarious.
I got that etched into my chassis.
That would have been dope.
Oh gosh, fucking shield. So, yes, you all have, or the two of you have shield now. It is probably 8 a.m. Based on the map, you would estimate it's probably 5 to 8 hours to hike to this other location.
Kevin and I are hungry. Did y'all make any food while we were all sleeping, or?
We did,
Yeah.
but Greg ate it all.
You need all.
Who the
Or
fuck's
Craig? Is it Greg or Craig?
Craig.
Craig. Craig ate
Craig.
it all.
I mean, that was my name that I gave. I don't know if he has like a jaguar
I
name.
thought your
or
name
something.
was Guy.
My name's
Oh.
Guy.
We had the scary fire leopard thing here.
Oh, did you have to pick a new name because you gave him your name, which was Greg, and now your name is Guy?
No, is that how things work with goblins?
Well, you said you gave him your name.
I mean, I gave him his name.
Mm.
I would just get used to this. Gish is sometimes very frustrating to talk to.
I don't I don't know what y'all humans do. I gotta just try to investigate and making notes.
I mean, I'm not the best person to ask about what humans do. I mean,
Why is that?
that's only kind of one. Not really. Kind of. Maybe. Sort of. Not really sure.
You're not sure if you're a human? That seems confusing.
I mean, I guess you could say that by the end of my character's journey, we might find out that I'm human after all. But I cannot speak to that here nor there. I just know that for being an automaton, I am. Let's just say I can't quite remember what I'm supposed to do with that. Hence, and I play the hurdy-gurdy real quick.
How many bolts do I have?
Regular crossbow bolts.
No, the special fancy ones. So there's 12?
20, I think.
Okay. And how many of each?
They don't have any vials attached to them right now.
Oh, I have to get my own.
You'll have to get your own vials, yes.
It's almost
There
like
was a
someone can make fire
whole
ones.
room of them at one point.
Oh, what happened to those?
They blew up. Somebody blew them all the fuck up.
The designer of the set piece put a lot of red barrels around them, and a stray bullet destroyed them all.
Stray bullet. As
Stray.
though it wasn't an intentional attempt to ignite everything at the same time.
I mean, if you
I-
put the red barrels there, people are going to shoot them.
Yeah.
That's how it works. Okay, well,
All right.
hey
so let's-
Gish, at some point, can we make little alchemy vials for these things?
Oh, I don't make alchemy vials. I make the stuff that goes in them, though.
Oh, okay.
Do you know
Could
what
you do
alchemy is? It's not like glass blowing.
I guess not.
Heck,
Just the thought of the goblin being so fucking shitty and snarky.
well, I mean, I could get us some glass vials on the way there. I actually have a glass blowing module that I have installed, so I can blow glass.
Oh, they had to be special ones. Do you know how to do that?
No, in fact, I was just lying. I don't have a glass blowing module. That's not a thing I can do. I was hoping someone would believe me and call me out on it or something. Anyways, let's go.
Oh God. Okay. You guys head out, and you're back to. You're back to maneuvering through the rot and the slime and the contamination and all the bad stuff that comes with that. None of you are barefoot, correct?
Not even Kevin.
So are you riding Kevin through this, or are you walking
Yeah.
next to him?
Oh no, I'm riding
Okay.
Kevin.
You slog your way back through, and are you crossing the grass?
Is it all burned?
I mean, there's a path burned back to that tree, or you can go north the way you need to, which there is no path. That would be forging anew.
I don't like that grass.
I'm gonna get a torch.
Are you?
I don't mind the grass, by the way. It's dramatic. The grass
That's,
is.
You did burn it alive, as I recall.
I didn't burn anything alive.
Somebody
wait.
did.
Somebody did.
I did.
Why are we burning the
So
grass?
the grass screams. I don't know
It-
why we're going to continue to burn the grass, but the grass is
It's
sentient.
evil grass.
I think that we may have had a little trauma before we ran into the grass. We did some things we thought was right. It was not.
I'm still.
And I
lighting
think
the
we should just
torch.
move on from it and
Okay.
learn from it.
So I want to know who's standing on the grass, or who's going to step onto the grass, and who's waiting for Gene to burn it before they step on it.
All right, I'll walk across the grass.
While you walk across the grass, every step you take, you hear screams and moans, and just in your mind, you can just feel just sadness and melancholy and terror. And the actual strands of grass, while they're not stopping you from moving, you can feel them curling around your foot trying to. And as you move, you're ripping blades in half, and you're just hearing them scream. The smell of fresh cut grass is the strongest it's ever been in your entire life. You can feel it in you, and you don't even have a sense of smell. It's more like you can hear the smell. Everybody else can hear it too, but you are the one that feels the grass tearing out, and you can see in your mind's eye, it's like you're ripping the bodies of millions in twain with each step.
Quick question. I stop right there after like 2 steps in, and I'm like, huh. And then I look to see how far the grass goes to the north.
If you want to do like the straight path through, it's like 100 yards.
Yeah.
Gee,
How's it going over there?
Is this the way? Why are you walking on that grass? Do we even need to go that way?
I mean, we've got to go north, right?
I reference the map. Is that the way we gotta go?
That is the fastest way to go.
I guess we could go up onto the ground, up out of the cave and move that way, or we could just cut through. I think both ways are gonna suck.
You know what? Fuck it. And I take steps back, trying to like step back into the area that I was. And
there are far fewer screams as you do that, but screams nonetheless.
Cool. Everybody cover your ears, and I begin with my energy beams and begin to light the grass on fire in front of us.
You see as you get the first like foot of it, and then you see the grass straining, its roots actually almost ripping out of the ground as it's trying to get out of the way. The scream and terror of this grass as it's trying to get away from the lasers before it's incinerated and burned. And the grass is trying. The blades fanned. You can see them digging into ground, trying to pull the roots. The actual earth is coming up a little bit, but it's not, the blades are breaking off. It's like an arm pulling so hard that it rips off at the socket, trying to get out of the way. But you're still burning it up. You gonna just go the whole length?
Yep.
Okay.
This is a lot better than when you're standing in it. Believe me, guys. Woof.
I told you it's evil grass.
Over the next 10 minutes, the grass screams and begs and pleads. At some points, it seems to give up, but eventually it comes back again as you hit a new population of grass that hasn't just accepted its fate yet. Soon, you have a path 2 feet wide by 100 yards long of total incinerated grass, basically dirt. The grass next to it seems to be almost browning on sight, as though it's committing mass grass suicide to try and get away from the fire. But the screaming is pretty much stopped now. It's just a hollow feeling walking across it. Like, yeah, it is a terrible, terrible sensation.
Yikes.
Well, I feel like you're officially part of our party now.
Have you done that a lot before, Guy? Just like murdering millions?
I have not ever really murdered millions. Can't say that I've ever killed grass quite like this, but there's a first time for everything, and I'm all about new experiences. So yeah, uh, that's pretty rough though.
Mm-hmm.
Not a fan of grass murder.
Are you guys walking across the path that Guy made?
Yep.
Yeah, and I'm gonna apologize to the grass as we walk.
As you guys get to
lift
the
it up.
far end, the screaming begins to fade, and it almost goes quiet, like looking at regular grass again. As you're stepping into what looks like more like scrub brush. However, then the screams redouble. The grass itself is frantic. It's in terror. It's not coming from you. It's coming from the other side, and you see a goat has wandered into the grass. And the grass is terrified. But you guys are past it.
Well, circle of life. It's not like a horrible monster goat, is it?
No, it's just a billy goat.
Okay.
It's just sitting there chewing on the grass, and it seems its head is darting around. It feels like maybe it's looking for the places the screams are loudest.
Awesome.
It's evolution.
Is that your
Yep.
goat, Key? You seem to have a lot in common.
I don't have a goat currently, at least not that I remember. So yeah, no, I'm goatless. This has been wild.
Yeah. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, let's go through the scrub brush.
Okay, so you guys continue through the scrub brush.
Real
Down
quick, I poke the scrub brush to see if it screams.
Oh, it's just brush.
Okay.
Although
I make a
if
little
everyone
scream as a
wants to
joke.
give me a nature check really quick.
Natare.
Ooh, that's a great one.
I just need to know if anybody gets below a 15.
21.
Me,
Okay, who got below 15?
I got a 10.
You're collecting a lot of puncture vine in your boots as you walk along, and like you can feel it when you step. Your boot is sort of, it's not level anymore because there's so much puncture vine just stuck in one side of it, and you're trying to break it off on rocks, but you just keep hitting more puncture vine. It's really annoying. That's it. That's there's nothing special to it.
I'm gonna turn into a wolf and see
Okay.
if I could walk better as a wolf.
Roll me another nature check.
11.
You are walking better, but you don't have boots anymore. So now every time you hit puncture vine, it hurts like fucking hell instead of just annoying.
Yep, not doing that.
You switch back, and you realize that your boots don't become part of your body when you transform. They're just sort of teleported. So that puncture vine in your paw, your rear paw, is now smashed between the boot and your foot and is rammed real deep into your normal human foot.
Okay, we're gonna have to stop.
You all right there,
No.
Fido?
What happened?
I'm not.
No!
I feel like that should have been obvious that was going to happen.
Oh yeah, you a wolf changing expert?
Well, when your boot is covered in puncture vine and then you turn to straight flesh, you might as well have just taken your boot off and walked without the boot.
You know what? I don't have time for this shit. I'm just gonna dig the fucking things out.
Yeah, dig them out, and you continue on your way down the hill and into the valley. It doesn't take long before you're at the river. That marks about the halfway point. The river doesn't look super deep, maybe maybe you could wade across. You could try and go north or south and see if there's in a shallower area, or you could try and make a boat out of some wood or something. Do you have any preferences on how you get across the water? It's hard to tell how fast it's moving. There doesn't seem to be any rocks or anything sticking out to give you a real indication.
How far across is it?
About 40 feet.
Can you turn into a boat, Guy?
I cannot, but I do have, and I reached into my backpack and.
You know, like yacht class A or something.
No. Well, I do have the yacht module, but I don't have that installed right now, and it just takes too much time and money to get that.
Right.
No, I pull out a clockwork grappling gun, which is a thing I bought a while ago that I was excited to have. It can be used to shoot across, and we can use that to get over there. It has a 100-foot range. So I could set us up a line to kind of wade across and use this to steady us.
Sure.
Sound like a plan, y'all?
Sure.
Sounds like a plan.
Cool. When it comes to the grappling gun, it doesn't look like there's any particular kind of roll that I have to make for it. But what would you say, GM?
I'm going to say survival.
Survival. I got a 9.
You shoot across and it hooks onto something, and you pull, and it's sort of a rotted tree. It's hooked on it. You pull and the tree wobbles a bit, maybe cracks a little, but as long as the water's not too fast, you're probably okay. What are you tying it off to on the other end?
I'm going to try to wrap it around something, and then I'm holding on to the gun. So I'm like effectively, moving it around a tree on our side if there's something like that exists. I'm still holding on to the wire.
Yeah, there's directly across, there's a fairly strong tree trunk that you can wrap it around. And it's got a full tree. It's not just like a stump, it's a tree. So you can wrap it around that. It's probably a wide as your shoulders tree. It's not a super old tree, but it's plenty strong enough to wrap around.
Okay, cool. Well,
Do you think that's strong enough?
I mean, the wire probably is. The tree here definitely is, but I can't speak for the one across the way. We can try to do something else.
Gonna kind of look around. There's a bunch of trees and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything I could, like a pole vault?
A pole?
Yeah.
You could
vault
snap a
across?
tree branch off and get like a little pole. You want a big pole.
I need a vault.
Pole vault pole. Okay.
Yeah.
In theory, some of the really tall trees, if you were to climb up them a ways and then either break them off or cut them off, you could take the whole top half, shave all the branches off, and turn that into a pole vault pole. But I mean, you're talking like 6 hours work or something.
Yeah. No, I get that. Yeah. No, that's not gonna work. Gish, you're the lightest, right? Do you want to try first?
No, I'm not doing that. What if it's super deep? You want me to just drown?
We can
we should test it with the heaviest, and then we'll know if everyone else. If you test with the lightest person and it works, it doesn't mean it'll work for you.
You know what?
Tie a rope to you. In case you fall in, we can pull you back up.
Surprised you didn't suggest we throw Kevin in the water to see how deep it is.
I have an idea.
I ponder it.
I'm going to try something. Let me try this as an idea. With the grappling gun still in my hand, I'm going to cast Levitate on myself and Gondun fly across the daggone thing in the next few minutes, or next minute or so.
What happens to the gun?
I'm taking it with me.
And you're just letting it feed out the whole way back across.
While I'm going across, I can, it's clockwork. I can just, while I'm going. Yeah. So.
And it's got 100-foot range, so you can get 40 feet back and all the way back across again. You're going to be tight because you wrapped it around the one tree, but you can get it. To the other side, and you are next to the shitty tree that you hooked.
Okay, is there a better looking tree over here?
Roll me nature.
Oh boy. It's 11.
You think that this is probably close to how, trees are trees, right?
Yeah.
It's not. It doesn't matter how tall or old or rotted the tree is. It matters. The roots are the important part, and you can't even see that. So who cares?
The roots.
Can we tell if the tree's garbage from where we're at?
You can tell it's not a great tree.
You know what? It doesn't really matter because we're going to be doing it kind of something like this.
I say quietly, there must be some things I guess robots are not good at.
Listen.
You can hear it. I said it quietly.
Yeah, listen. 40 feet across the river, you can't hear anything.
I don't think he knows what trees are.
I'm gonna shoot the grappling hook across the way, and you guys take it and wrap it around that tree that I had over there.
Isn't it already wrapped around it?
Nah.
Oh, I thought it was this whole time.
Oh no.
That's why I asked if you were still feeding it out.
Oh no, my bad. I'm feeding it back in. Effectively I went to the other side.
You were pulling yourself in with it. Okay.
Yeah. Well, or feeding it back in as I went. So now that I'm on the other side, I'm going to fire it back because I know that tree over there is good enough, and I know that this tree is good enough. So obviously, I'm going to do the same thing but backwards.
Okay, Kevin, let's go. Let's run far away. We don't know how good Guy is at shooting things.
Yeah. Roll me a
survival.
Yeah, we'll say survival again.
I don't like that.
It's got to be good one of these times.
14.
You shoot across and you hit the tree that you want to hit dead on.
Mm-hmm.
You don't hook it, but you slam the hook right into it. You just need somebody to grab the hook and wrap it around. Luckily, there's 3 people over there.
Exactly, that's the plan. Wrap the hook around.
All right.
Okay, so my plan that I should have discussed. Noticing a theme here between me and other characters that have been on this program is 2 of you come over, and then the third person is going to undo the hook and we'll reel it in and pull you across. Because I'm not burning more levitate spell slots. Those are expensive.
I grab Kevin in one arm, and then I grab the thing in the other one. I'm going to be one of the first 2.
Okay. So you're just going to try and pull yourself one hand at a time across.
And kick my little goblin feet to help me go across.
I'm assuming you've got your arm hooked around it so that you can hold Kevin. Kevin is trying to paddle, but you've got him mostly out of the water at first, so he's just sort of frantically dog paddling in the air. You get about halfway across, and the rope starts to get tight as you're pulled by the current. The current is, as it turns out, pretty fast in the center. And it's pulling hard enough that the once straight across rope is now making pretty much almost a rainbow arc. And the tree that it's holding on to it's making some noises. It's making some crackling. Each time you jump up, the slack gets less and then yanks again. And every time that happens, the tree goes. A little splinter of wood flies off the back of the tree at pretty high velocity. But give me an athletics check to get through the worst part of the river there.
31.
31.
I have plus
But-
11 somehow on athletics.
Yeah, you make it across pretty easily, holding Kevin the whole time.
It's
And then
fine.
you're-
It's
you're
easy,
across.
guys. Come on over.
That wasn't that bad, right? I mean, like, the plan worked. The plan worked.
For me,
Okay, yeah, so far.
the lightest person in the party.
Yeah, no, this is concerning. Do you see anything that I could wrap this around better?
Roll me nature, Gish.
Gish is gonna be like, yeah, the boulder, dummy.
21.
21. That is
yeah,
pretty
the
good.
boulder.
You look around for a second, and you see there's a stump, a stump of what was a very big tree. Now you can't wrap it around the stump itself. That's not going to work. But there's a root that's sticking up that if you were to dig out a little bit, the root is like, it's like a 3-foot around root. This thing isn't coming out ever. It would probably be pretty good.
I say Kevin, and I point at it, and Kevin starts to dig.
His little boots are on, so it's really ineffective
Yeah.
digging. But he's trying.
Put it around that, Gee. Okay. Here's the thing you should know about trees. If they're
Yeah.
rotten, it's not going to work. Okay. It's not going to be
No,
helpful.
Hey, this one was helpful and it worked. And it got the best alchemist on our team across. So
Yeah. If we don't want the others to die, we have to wrap it around this one.
yep, yes. And I go and wrap it around that one after doing like a wait a second, 1 minute, as I'm yelling across the water to everyone else. So
Mornar, Gene, are you waiting, or are you guys just trying to go?
Are they digging over there?
I don't know what is happening over there, but I guess. I mean, it's Gish over there, so he's probably being frustrating and stalling everything out.
Yeah.
So let's just give it a second.
It's probably talking him into leaving us.
It's possible.
okay, it's ready. Go ahead and ready cross.
You see them untying the rope on the other side.
Son of a
God
bitch, you
damn
were
it.
right.
Can you swim that?
It looked pretty bad when Gish was about halfway through. If
Yeah,
they
but
ditch
he's
us,
also
I guess
a tiny
we'll.
little goblin.
Yeah, but think of how much drag he had.
At this point, you see that they're tying it around something that Gish is pointing to.
Shit. Yeah.
Do you think we should trust that? I mean, it can't be
No
worse
idea.
than I mean, before it was pretty bad. Can it really be worse?
Yeah, that tree looked like it was about to fall over.
I can't believe Gish actually went across and that thing attached.
I just wasn't gonna say anything.
I figure him and that dog can probably swim just fine.
Yeah. All right.
Oops.
Well, you want to go?
Yeah, I'll go. But I am not going the normal way because I am Mornar. And I am going to tightrope across.
That's pretty awesome.
Okay, roll me athletics. Or wait, acrobatics. That's clearly acrobatics.
Yeah, 27.
27. Mornar jumps on the rope, and at this point, we find that it was good that you had switched to the much tighter, stronger pole, because immediately the rope goes from about 3 feet above the water to about 2 inches above the water with the weight of him standing on it. But he runs across with almost no trouble at all. There's one point where a little rapid kicks up and yanks on the rope, and Mornar has to catch his balance, but it doesn't really slow him down as much as just cause him to shift ever so slightly. And Mornar hops down on the other side.
Show
Why-
off. I love it.
it.
Why did you do it that way? That's
I'm gonna do
even
like a
more
little front flip.
dangerous.
Off the rope.
Fucking
Ends with a
show off.
flourish.
I hope Gene doesn't try that.
All right, so here's my idea because I still want to be able to get the grappling hook back, and I ain't leaving it here across the river. We get Gene to undo that side.
Gene,
I've got a
from your
spell.
side, you just see like
I'm talking with more. We're talking about the plan this time. I can cast a haste spell on him midway through. We pull the line, and then he can use that to aid in being able to swim across.
That sounds great. Do you not think that that's maybe something you should tell him and not to me?
Well, I wanted to run it by you first because you're over here and you're going to be helping me pull him.
Do you need me to go back over and tell him?
No. Well,
because I could go back over and tell him. Clearly, Mornar wants to go back over again.
As much as I don't want to risk it out of character, like he's like, yeah.
You know what? I'm just gonna go back and tell him.
Roll me acrobatics again.
25.
25. Not as good, but still fine. You get back across pretty quickly. Gene is still just standing there. The look on his face, I imagine, is extremely deadpan.
The fuck are you doing?
He's got the whole plan, but he never told anyone, so I came back to tell you.
Wasn't it just untying it and I get drug across?
I think.
I thought that's what the plan was.
I think that's the plan. I think he wants to like cast something on you too.
What?
He said something about a spell. I don't remember which one now. I just wanted to come back across. I wasn't listening.
Just untie it and come across, Gene.
I gotta go. I'm gonna go back though.
No
I guess
shit.
you untie it, and then you untie it, and then he's gonna cast some like spell on you or something.
Another acrobatics check, Mornar.
All right. Have fun.
I cast and used a cantrip I should have been using this whole time, musical accompaniment. It doesn't do anything except for adds music to the scene that I have absolutely no control over, so it sounds harrowing, I imagine.
We're going to find out what the roll is first.
That's going to be a 31.
Oh, that's even better. So it is, let's see, the Rugrats theme song as he easily just runs across the rope. It's like da 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 da, because it's nothing. This is playtime for Mornar. He could run back and forth across this rope all day, apparently. He even does a cartwheel midway across. And because this was a critical success at that point, and you grab a fish out of the water while you're cartwheeling and just keep running with the fish in hand. You're back across again.
I give it to the dog. The fish.
Okay, yeah.
Kevin's actually allergic
Kevin
to
brings
fish.
the fish to Dr. Gish, spits it out, and then just waits for a reward.
Kevin, I have to do treat poison on him because he's allergic to fish. Mornar, leave Kevin alone.
I didn't know that he was allergic. Okay, I'm sorry. I had no idea. I didn't know dogs could be allergic to things. It's my bad.
On the other side, Gene, are you untying the grappling hook?
Yeah, I'm just gonna be grumbling like you fucking ninja piece of shit motherfucker. I'm just tying it around myself.
Okay.
All right, Mornar, help me with the line here because we're gonna try to pull. And if I need to do some casting, I'm gonna need.
Isn't it just like a gun? Doesn't the gun just pull him?
No. It does. It doesn't self. It can self-wind after, but you can't. It's not. We've got a convenience ability, but not Batman powers.
Well, that's just fucking stupid. But okay.
Who's Batman?
So, Gene, are you trying to swim, or you got it tied around your waist? It's a big.
I'm gonna try to swim.
You're gonna try? Okay.
Yeah.
You get about a quarter of the way before the water's too deep, and it immediately starts to pull you downstream, and the line goes from what was straight across to you're now pulled right in the middle, and you're taught about 40 feet downstream from where the tree was, as it yanks you down, but you're right in the middle, and the water is washing up into your face. The fact that this rope is here isn't allowing you to really move any farther. It's just too much water pressure pushing on you, and it's pushing your head down and everything. Make me an athletics check to swim and try and keep your head above water and everything.
Fucking goddamn it. 17.
17. You're able to keep your head above water.
That's
You're
a
not making
roll
great
of 3.
progress. Oh, that's really good. You have high athletics.
Yeah.
You're not making progress, but you are keeping your head above the water. Guy and Mornar, you're just pulling. You're reeling them in.
Yeah.
Yeah. guess
Roll
so.
me athletics. What we're gonna have here is we're gonna add the 2 athletics you get together and divide it in 2, and that is the athletics score. 22.
And I got a 23.
Okay, 22 and a half. That's good. You're reeling him in. It is a lot of work. Gene's heavy. The current's really strong, but he's keeping his head above water. It doesn't look like he's getting too much in his nose and mouth, but he's definitely getting some. This seems like everyone had a pretty okay time of this, except for Gene, which is just left with the really shitty part of being drugged through high current, deep water. One more athletics check from the 2 of you.
Oh, not me.
You as well, but we're going to see exactly how that's going to go here in a sec.
Okay.
I got a 19.
19?
I got a 9. Also, I want to make sure that it is known musical accompaniment lasts 1 minute, and so I imagine that the theme has changed.
The theme has changed. It was Indiana Jones at first, and it has started to turn into the asteroid chase from Empire Strikes Back. Dun, 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 dun. Gene, I need you to make an athletics check to make up for their abysmal 14.
32.
32. You realize that this is not working well. It's not going to happen. And you just go ahead and you untie around your waist the grappling hook, let it go, and aim along with the current towards the shore and just let yourself swim with the current towards the shore. It takes you about 100 feet, but you just swim across. And you get on the shore. The grappling hook now is really easy to reel in. You guys just pull it in.
Yep.
And you're across.
Well, that was fucking stupid.
We solved your riddle, wizard. Or game master.
We did it. I give Kevin a high five.
Yeah, you guys are across, and you're now only an hour or 2 away from your destination. Are you planning to dry out, or are you just going to get back on the road?
Well, I don't need to dry out, so I don't want to brag.
I want to dry out.
Are there any
I've got to
creatures
Get
around?
the rest of those prickly things off me.
I've got prestidigitation, so I'm just going to help with the drying out process.
What'd you ask there, Gish?
Oh, I was going to ask if there were any creatures around. Guy can see that he wants to murder, but
You'd have to roll me perception.
22.
22. You don't see any creatures other than the fish that Mornar tried to poison Kevin with. That's
Wow.
it. There is a sort of game trail that leads right up from the river into the mountain into the hills towards the mountain that you need to head to, which is essentially the base of the 5 King Mountains is where this Vilry's lair supposedly is.
Nice. Do
So
the humans need a break, or what? What's the plan here, guys?
Well, I'm soaked, so I don't want to do a bunch of hiking and shit with
He'll try out as we walk.
Yeah, Guy, didn't you press to digitate, Gene?
Yeah, I pressed to digitate him.
Does that just get rid of all of it?
Yeah, it's like you get a Marilyn Monroe style blow dryer treatment of just air just coming up and
Your hair is like.
And then I make some sort of joke about how, like, okay, so there's a farmer and he's got a robot, a swashbuckler, a corgi, and a goblin, and a ghost hunter, and he has to make it across, but you can't leave the corgi with the swashbuckler, otherwise the swashbuckler will kill the corgi. And it trails off there as we move on.
The next time it's gonna be like you can ride on the back of the swashbuckler, but the swashbuckler, when you stab him, will be like, "Why did you do that, corgi?" And the corgi will be, "It's my nature. I am a corgi." Stories and crossing rivers. So you guys get into the hills. You continue to hike. It is a lot more of an incline, so it's a little more work. You're moving slower. But before too long, you spot in the distance where you expect to be going a large wooden palisade. Atop it, you can see orcs patrolling. It appears you've come across a orc village, and that is where the lab is.
Good thing we have all this orc gold.
Why?
Because the orc village.
Let's have a quick conversation about what we know about the geopolitics of orcs in the area.
I'm also going to say you guys are like 3/4 of a mile away in tree cover, so they haven't spotted you yet. You only see this because this is like a 50-foot tall wall of wood. This is a serious entrance. This is not like the wooden wall from before, which was just sort of like a fence. This is a siege-worthy fortification, and there are walkways for them to walk back and forth across, and they have patrols, multiple, probably half dozen orcs walking along the walls up there and things like that.
Does it look like it's alchemist fireproof?
If it's an alchemist lair.
Hard to tell. It looks like it's made of wood.
I hate to generalize, but all of the orcs that I've ever met have tried to kill me, so you guys know me. I'm not one to generalize about groups of people, but it could be. It seems like a hostile environment.
I've known at least one or two pretty nice orcs.
Well,
Are they your parents?
Are they also protecting the evil lady?
I mean, they might be protecting her. Maybe they don't know. Maybe it's a good orc village with good orcs, but they have an alchemist in their midst who is. How's the blight in this area?
There is no blight.
Interesting.
Basically, the last little bits you saw ended before the river.
Okay.
I would say that there's a pretty good chance that they're not good orcs, but there's always a chance that they are.
Even if they're good orcs and they're harboring a bad person, to me that makes them also bad.
So should we shoot first?
And ask questions later.
What if, instead, I turn somebody invisible and they can go check it out?
Ooh.
Mornar sounds like he wants to be invisible.
I am probably the sneakiest.
Probably.
You want to get in on that invisibility action?
How long does it last? How long do I have? Once.
You've got 10 minutes. So
I have 10 minutes
to go 3/4 of a mile and scope out.
No. We get. I wanted to talk about it ahead of time. So it's not, like I just touch him and turn him invisible and go, "Get there, buddy," and then shoot a musket off into the air in the middle of town.
I mean, I can go. We can get closer and I can check it out, but 10 minutes is... I'll have to be quick.
I mean,
Yeah, can we get closer without being spotted?
I mean, we can try. It's all tree covered.
It's tree covered up to about 100 feet out from the palisade. Within 100 feet, everything is clear cut. But you can get to 100 feet away and still be in the forest. It is, however, like 4 p.m. right now, so it's pretty well lit.
All right. Yeah, I say we just stay in the tree cover and get a little bit closer.
Yeah, I guess so. Let's just be careful. There could be patrols.
we watch for patrols and approach under cover of tree.
Let's see here. So you get closer, and you can see that the tops are carved to points. These points and little crenulations, it'd be very easy to hook a grappling hook on. The actual wall itself is made of thick logs. Probably some of it was from where they clear cut in front here, but others, as you walk through the forest, are definitely selected for some specific reason, probably just their size from the forest. All the largest trees have been removed. There's just large stumps big enough to put a bed on all over the place, and those appear to be what they've used for the wall and maybe other projects on the other side of it. If you look out past the one edge of the palisade, it actually goes to a cliff on the left side, the far side from where you guys approached. And in theory, you could climb around it if you were willing to climb on the cliff and somehow prevent from getting spotted rather than trying to go over. On the other side, the palisade continues around whatever this town or village looks like, maybe walling the entire thing off. You're not sure. But you are, I'll say, 200 feet away. No orcs have come out of the town. The gates haven't opened once. There haven't been any alerts. There have been no alarms. There have been no sounds. Just them patrolling. And after a few hours, they switch. It's now like 7:30 at night, and it's starting to get dark. And around 6:30 was when they had a guard change.
Marnar, do you want me to make you invisible and you can go do the thing?
I suppose.
You can
At
climb up
worst,
walls, right?
I can climb up most things, sure. I would still probably need a grappling hook regardless, if anyone wants to donate one.
Gene was really good
I
at
got
throwing
one.
it one time.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and give you the. I'm gonna give you this. I give him the grappling gun. I'm like, take good care of her.
Wasn't that loud the last time you used it?
Let me check actually.
Definitely
Grab.
need it to be as quiet as possible.
Wooden pistol-like device features large recoil with 100 feet of thin metal core that would fire a grappling hook at 100 feet and reload a grappling gun. Manually recoil the reel crank. Reloading the gun takes 1 minute. It doesn't say anything about how it sounds.
If it shoots out 100 feet, it seems like it might
It's
be pretty loud.
Probably not very quiet.
Okay then.
Here's my grappling hook.
Okay.
Do you
Wait, if
wanna
I
throw
turn
it
him
up, Gene?
invisible, is that going to turn the grappling invisible as well?
Oh,
Probably not
do
while
you
I'm
have
using it.
make grappling hook invisible as a spell too?
Well, I don't have make friggin' his hair invisible, but that's just assumed.
No, you won't make the grappling hook invisible by making Mornar invisible.
It'll probably just be invisible while in my pack, I'm guessing. And then once I take it out and use it, it's visible.
Yeah, if it gets more than about 8 inches from you, it'll become visible.
Well, maybe Mornar shouldn't be the one to go, and we should send the person who can climb walls with ease. That might be a better idea. Oh, wait. Let's just send Mornar. He doesn't need a grappling hook.
I'm gonna need kind of a grappling hook. Like those are pretty tall.
Okay. I mean,
He's got
yes.
it. I believe in him.
Okay, I guess.
Okay.
Turn me invisible.
While we're far enough away that if I were to play a little bit of music, it wouldn't hurt anything, right? Cool. I play a quick little tune. It's very Baroque sounding. I play it very quietly. It's a little haunting in the way that it goes. I'm thinking I might make like a playlist of all the music that comes up, and we can release those as show notes or something maybe. But the song that I play is Very Disco by Daft Punk. And Mornar gone done turned invisible and done disappeared.
Okay. Mornar, you need to make me a stealth check.
Where's my stealth at? Stale. That's a 24.
24. You guys know that Mornar has been made invisible, but maybe he's teleported away because you don't see or hear anything. There's no leaves rustling. There's no footsteps. You don't hear breathing. It's like he disappeared off the face of the earth. Mornar, you quickly make your way to the wall. Are you planning to go down around on the cliff or try to climb up on top of the palisade?
Does it seem like there's a bunch of people on the palisade?
There are, as every time you've ever checked, at least 6 up there.
Did it ever look like there was a spot that I could throw up a grappling hook and no one would notice? Like, is there any good open spots?
There's no spots that look like it'd be good to do that, no.
Okay, then I'm going to try to go around to the side then.
Okay. You make your way along the wall silently, and you get to the cliff edge. The wall sticks out a few feet past the cliff edge.
Right.
So you'd still have to go down and then climb under it.
Right.
So you'd go out and probably down about 15 feet, over like 10 feet, and then up 15 feet, and you'd be around the wall.
Okay.
Roll me athletics.
Okay, did you make him invisible or did you teleport him? How do we know? Did you hear anything?
Be 25.
He should just be invisible. I mean, if we could see what was going on, it'd probably be really impressive. He's like a flip wizard.
Yeah, but any invisible things, I would expect to still hear him.
I mean, yeah, but he's a sneaky dude.
In the bad way?
25 gets you down under the wall without knocking any debris, without any slipping or noises or anything. You get around the little section below. Now you've got to make another athletics check to climb up above it.
Okay. A non-natural 20.
Okay. That gets you around the other side. As you climb up, you see there's a full village here. There's probably 100 orcs that live in this village. There's a number of little huts and buildings, but there's one large sort of more impressive one that you can see into because the tarp is open. There's a large fire inside, and there's a massive stone throne. Crudely carved with howling orc faces, the chair is clearly intended to intimidate. Flanking it on the walls are massive leather canvases featuring simple paintings. One on the left is an image of a mountain peak with an orc head howling from a great cavern at the mountain's heart. On the right is the image of a tall, slender woman with black hair. Her ears suggest she is of elven or half-elven descent. In one hand, she holds a large beaker overflowing with a caustic green liquid. In the other, she holds fire, naked and burning. At the backed wall, you can make out a curtain partly concealing an opening that leads into the cliff face of the wall behind that hut.
I don't have a lot of time.
There is also a guard tower standing in the center of the village, between that hut and the wall. And there are two guards sort of boredly sitting up there staring. It looks like they have some view over the wall, not a lot. You guys actually probably had seen them before, but with where you were at, it was hard to tell how far back they were. They were actually way behind the wall.
Yeah.
And you can see that the gate has 3 large bars of wood across it, locking it shut. The overall fortress is full of sort of brooding, armed and angry orcs all over the place. It appears they are preparing for some sort of attack, or either got done with one. But there's arms and armor. There's a lot of evidence that this place is at war or about to go to war.
Said there was a fire.
There is a large fire right inside the big main hut in front of the stone throne.
Is there like anything around where, because I mean, I can investigate this place all I want, but it doesn't get us past the orcs. So I think what I'm going to try to do is cause a bunch of distress in this place. Is there anything that like I could like light on fire to start a big like out of control fire in this place?
Everything here seems to be pretty flammable, other than maybe the wooden wall having crawled around it. It seems like that has been soaking in something to protect it from the elements, and you've got a suspicion that whatever that stuff is wouldn't burn very well. But
Okay.
everything inside the wall seems pretty flammable, other than the stone throne.
Right, I'm gonna kind of sneakily walk around and get a bunch of flammable shit to throw on this fire to have it like, and then I'm gonna try to like, is it like a fire that is just like a fireplace? Is it a fire pit?
This is like a fire pit.
Okay.
It's a big fire pit, but it's a fire pit. And I need you to
Yeah.
roll me another stealth check.
Yeah. I was waiting for a stealth check. That is 24.
24. Yeah, you're still fine. The orcs aren't paying attention. Some of them are eating. A lot of them are laughing. You can hear a marshalling yard where they're drilling. But yeah, you're gathering up sticks and various bits of sort of
Is there any like
twigs and stuff.
flammable liquid? Gasoline adjacent liquid?
Roll me perception.
Fantasy gasoline, aka orc meat.
That is 23 actually. Holy shit. I'm rolling really good right now.
23. They have a set of war machines that are at the edge of the marshalling yard. There's like 4 or 5 catapults, and there are jugs of something that are marked with a big red circle on all these jugs. You suspect that that's probably flammable stuff.
Okay, I'm gonna steal one of these jugs, obviously.
Okay.
To start with.
It's plugged with a cork, just
Okay.
so you know.
I'm gonna move it, and I'm gonna start like trails to flammable things from the fire.
You're gonna pour
just
this stuff
whatever.
out?
Yeah, I'm just gonna walk and pour it and bring it to the
Okay.
fire.
The smell's really strong. It is.
So I'm gonna be quick then.
It's similar to the scent of alchemist fire, but it smells much more intense. Like
I'm gonna like
almost as
also-
though you could accidentally ignite it by sneezing too hard. It just
Yeah.
feels dangerous.
I'm gonna like pour some on the other bottles too, and then like make a trail to the
Okay.
fire, and a bunch of like other little trails to flammable things.
Okay.
And my own little pile I've made, I'm gonna cover it, and then I'm just gonna get a stick on fire and light the trail and
Okay.
start running.
At about the time you're about to light the trail, you hear shouts come up from across the camp as people are smelling this stuff poured all over the place. The moment that you light the trail, it flies into ignition. Like, it's not like it
Shit.
lights and then goes like a fuse. It's like it lights and then it's all on fire everywhere that you poured it. Instantaneously, like within a tenth of a second of you lighting that, the jugs explode. The camp is covered in fire, and the siege equipment is now just melting under this. You're actually going to have to make me a dex save.
Yeah.
I was going to say also as well, the spell ends if he takes any hostile action, so I don't know if this is a hostile action he has taken.
I mean, it's not.
I
an
wouldn't.
attack.
It's not.
I figured. I just wanted to
Yep. No,
make
that's fair.
sure we were clear.
What was I doing again? Sorry.
Dexterity saving throw.
Dexterity saving throw, and just in case, I am going to use my Charmed Life. Before attempting a save throw, I can add my Charisma modifier to the result of the save. Okay, the 6th level, 4 levels thereafter, the number of times. Okay, so I get to add my Charisma modifier. So that becomes a non-natural 20.
Non-natural 20. You are not going to avoid all of it. You're going to take 13 fire damage.
Minus, I have resistance to fire.
Yep.
So is that minus
Does
you
getting
gain
damage to knock you out of being invisible?
I don't believe so. Let me
Okay.
double check that.
So-
it says you gain resistance 5 to damage. Does that mean I don't?
You reduce it by 5.
by 5. Okay.
Yep.
That's
Says
what I need.
nothing about taking damage.
Okay, so yeah, you'll take 8 fire damage and be blown back.
Okay.
From the outside, you guys have been just sort of like, is Mornar even in there? And then suddenly, the whole camp is lit. It appears actually, Gish, roll me intelligence really quick.
This happens when you send more Nar in.
I like to think that before it blew up, I was talking with Gene, just being like, yeah, so, I mean, I sent him in. I figured, it'd be good if he could find out if there's, like, any orc kids in there with, like, little orc hoops and sticks, like, running around playing orc jacks or something. And then at that point, the explosion.
It's a 20.
That's a 20. With a 20, you recognize, based on the brightness and color of the flames, that it's some sort of magnesium-based alchemist fire.
Magnesium?
And it is bright enough that it's like daylight is behind those gates. It's every crack in the wood is shining as though the sun itself is inside there. It's brilliantly bright, and you have to actually sort of squint to protect your eyes from the brightness. Whatever's happening inside those walls, it's a lot of heat, it's a lot of fire, and it's really bad. The explosions and screams suddenly coming from there suggest that something bad happened. And that's where we'll end this episode. The sabotage of the orc village has begun. Hopefully these weren't the good types of orcs. Thank you all for listening, and join us next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.